Hey everybody, hope you guys are healthy and safe. So I'm gonna do another low light camera shootout today between the Oppo Find X5 Pro, the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, and the Huawei P50. Now the Huawei P50 is technically a flagship from 2021, so it's not quite a fair comparison because these are brand new 2022 flagships. But you know, I was really impressed with the P50 camera, P50 Pro camera, so we'll see how it holds up. So I'll just do a standard main camera shot in ultra wide. So right now the scene is relatively dark. There's some street lights, but this is still quite dark. So this is a 1x. So night mode automatically turns on for the S22 Ultra, and we'll go ultra wide. And then we'll just do a 3x zoom. Find X5 Pro. So night mode also kicks in automatically, ultra wide, and 3x zoom. We have here the Huawei P50 Pro. So the Huawei P50 Pro has a 50 megapixel main camera and a 13 megapixel ultra wide, and a 64 megapixel 3.5x zoom. So all three of these shots from the main camera turned out excellent, but notice Huawei's color science is just completely different. It's much cooler than the other two. It might look the most aesthetically pleasing, but that's not realistic white balance because the street was very yellow at the time. I think Oppo actually got the most accurate colors, but then Samsung probably found a happy balance. You know, it cooled it a little bit, but not so much like Huawei's. Oppo's shot is also the darkest. Look at the shadows down below. Now let's zoom in a little bit to 400%, and we can see that although Samsung's shot looked the best from afar, once you zoom into 400%, it's the noisiest, it's the most over-processed. Huawei's shot is the sharpest. You can actually read those Chinese words down below. Higher up in the picture, again Samsung's image is really noisy. I think Oppo and Huawei both look pretty decent at 400% still. Now we look at the three ultra wide shots. Huawei's shot is the darkest and weakest by far because apparently Huawei's night mode does not work with the ultra wide camera, whereas Samsung and Oppo clearly use some night mode trickery to bring in lighting into this shot. Now Oppo's ultra wide has the most pixels, so you can see once you zoom into 400%, it is the sharpest of the three. So look at 3x zoom. I actually made a mistake. I shot 3.5x zoom with Huawei, but Oppo's image is the softest because it only has a 2x optical zoom lens, so this is already digital zoom for Oppo, whereas Samsung and Huawei are an optical zoom. And we can see Huawei's image again is wider, it's cooler. Samsung's colors are more accurate, but Huawei's image is a little bit sharper if you blow it up to 400% and pixel peep. I probably chalk it up to the fact that Huawei has a faster aperture, f3.5 to Samsung's f4.9. So for scene 2, we're going to shoot this restaurant here. There's a neon sign. You can see the neon sign is actually blown out right now on this camera, but I think these phones will find proper exposure. You'll be able to read that sign. And there's some flowers under it. It's a contrasting scene. Okay, we'll start with this 22 Ultra. 1x. Then we have the Find X5 Pro. Oh, the P50 Pro just doesn't use night mode at all, it's just automatic. Okay, so all three of these main camera shots look damn good. We can see all three expose that light properly. Now let's zoom into 400%. We can see that Oppo's shot is really soft. Huawei's shot is once again potentially the sharpest of the three. Moving on to other parts of the frame. Yeah, I think Oppo just loses this one all around. It's a tie between Samsung and Huawei. Now moving on to the ultra wide image, once again Huawei's ultra wide is pretty bad at night. I think we can just get rid of the Huawei shot and just look at Samsung versus Oppo. Both of these are excellent ultra wide angle shots. Now moving to 400%, I'm surprised to see that Oppo lost that edge it had over the Samsung Ultra Wide previously. In terms of sharpness, they're both the same. In fact, Samsung's shot might actually have less noise. Okay, test number 3, we're just gonna test selfies in the dark. So you can see the screen right now, it's pretty dark. We'll see how it looks after night mode processing all that. Now all 3 of these selfies are really noisy and not sharp, but obviously Oppo wins here. Okay, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a video sample test in low light. Now unfortunately I don't have one of those clamps that can hold 3 phones at once, so I just have to do 2 phones first and then a 3rd phone. Now you might be saying that's not the most accurate way to test because my arms will move independently. Well, too bad. I mean I don't have a clamp with 3 right now. I mean I'll just do my best. So 4K recording, we'll turn left. I'm gonna take 10 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now I'm gonna do the same with the P50 Pro, 4K. I'm gonna hold it with one hand just to, you know, kind of simulate the exact same thing I just did. So 4K, I'm gonna take 10 steps this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it's clear that Samsung wins this one. Look at the colors. This is the most vibrant. Stabilization is the best too. Okay, now we'll do ultra wide camera. So ultra wide, some of these phones might struggle because the ultra wide sensor is usually not that large. Once again, Huawei's ultra wide is the weakest of the 3. And then if you look at just Samsung and Oppo, I think Oppo's ultra wide is a little better here in terms of stabilization and colors. Okay, so this here is another one of these Chinese gods. I think this is Guangdong. I'm not. If I get it wrong, please don't clown me, Chinese people. But this is a Chinese god. I'm gonna take a portrait shot of him. We'll see how how that background bokeh look. S22 Ultra is using the 3x zoom lens. Find X5 Pro 2x right here. The Huawei P50 Pro. Samsung wins this one clearly. Samsung's 3x zoom lens is really damn good. I'm going to test the zoom lens a little bit more because when you have better lighting, then the periscope lens can kick in. So we'll do a 10x zoom. Find X5 Pro. P50 Pro. So to no one's surprise, Samsung wins this one too because it has a 10x periscope zoom lens. Oppo's shot is the weakest because it's only a 2x zoom. Huawei's shot is actually okay, but Samsung's shot is clearly the best one here. Okay, I'm back home now. I've examined all the photos. It's actually 3:40 a.m. Sunday morning right now. So Saturday night, 3:40 a.m. I'm still working because it's a crazy ass week. MWC week, there's like 15 phones being announced, so I have to do this on the weekend. So I've already examined all the photos on the monitor. I think we can conclude that the S22 Ultra is the best zoom of the 3 by far. As for the main camera, it's kind of like close between all 3, but Huawei surprisingly holds up very well and often has the best sharpness if you pixel peep too. But I think ultimately it's between the S22 Ultra and the P50 Pro for the main camera. Now where Oppo wins is in the ultra wide camera and the front facing selfie camera. Video stabilization, I will probably go with Samsung main camera, but then Oppo wins the ultra wide too. So each phone kind of wins one. I'm surprised the P50 Pro is holding up very well considering it is a 1-year-old phone running on the Snapdragon 888. So it's a 1 generation older chip than the other 2 phones too. Now as for the best overall system, it would be the S22 Ultra, but I'm a fan of ultra wide camera, so I really like Oppo's ultra wide a lot. So anyway, I better go to sleep. It's almost 4 a.m. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and follow me on Instagram at Ben's Gadget Review. So take care, thanks for watching.